there and welcome back to another Demon Slayer Season 3 review. And I'm still trying to catch up on the show as of right now, so I am a little bit behind. But today we're going to be talking about Episode 4, Thank You Tokido, which follows off from the cliffhanger ending of Episode 3, where two upper ranks attacked our heroes and left them in pretty dire straits. So yeah, no point in wasting time, let's jump into the episode. So we start off the episode with a look at Tokido as he arrives to save Kotetsu from the demonic fish minion thing like we saw at the end of Episode 3. And obviously, it would be a bit ridiculous if our other heroes were able to get direct hits on the other actual powerful demons, whilst Tokido struggles against a minion, so he pretty instantly takes off its head, and then when we return from the intro, he realises it's still alive and so slices the pot that it's attached to, which finishes it for good. And yeah, he's a badass. I gotta say, this is gonna be one of the quickest character turnarounds of all time for this show. One episode he comes across as a total ass, and then it takes 2 or 3 scenes to make him seem funny and awesome and completely badass. Also, side note, the effect of that fish regrowing its head, horrifying and disgusting, but really well animated. But yeah, he kills it easily. Kotetsu instantly takes back his blood feud that he started because the guy stole and damaged his robot, before begging him to go and save the others who are working on Tanjiro's special sword. And whilst initially Tokido tries to refuse, he then starts having some flashbacks that reveal his apathy towards the world is probably not his true personality. But it's more something that's developed as a result of his amnesia, and that the Grand Master of the Order himself thinks that he will get his memories back someday, little by little, which seems to be what Tanjiro's kickstarted here with him. So, if Tokido does survive the arc, because we have seen characters die before, I expect that Tanjiro is going to have a new member in his burgeoning fan club. And so, he then does what he thinks Tanjiro would do, and just decides he's going to save everybody. The village, the workers, probably Tanjiro and the others. Man, this guy's rapidly become my favourite. What can I say? I'm easily swayed. But whilst Tokido's whooping some significant ass, the others are kind of struggling to contend with all the various different demonic clones. When last we left Tanjiro, he was contending with Joy, a flying birdman demon who shoots sonic blasts out of his mouth, and Tanjiro, well, he wasn't looking too good, having taken a fair bit of damage. And he does take more here, but he manages to prevent a killing blow by dividing Birdman up again, and forcing him into 2 separate clones, since the main emotions are the core demons here. But if you divide them up any further, they simply split into weaker clone bodies. So Tanjiro does get injured by these weaker clones, but not as severely as he would have been. And here's where the fight actually starts to pick up quite a lot. Tanjiro manages to fend him off for the time being, but finds himself getting slashed over and over again, with at least 7 direct hits by my count, all of them drawing blood and weakening him quite severely. I gotta wonder, why is he not using any special breathing techniques? He's just letting this dude clobber him over and over again. He's not using water breathing, or his Hinakami Kagura. I feel like actually using specialized demon slaying abilities is gonna give him a much better chance against an upper rank. Isn't it? Is this just forced railroading to extend the fight? Or is there a proper reason why he's not using them? I get that the Kagura drains his energy, but water breathing surely. Anyway, he damages the guy just enough to make him mad before we cut away to the other fight where Nezuko and Genya are contending with the other 3 emotions. And, well, Genya should be dead. That spear has clearly impaled his heart. And even before it gets pulled out and the wound really opens up, he should have died instantly. The sad dude has him dead to rights. But, watch him not be dead and somehow survive everything. Guess we'll need to suspend our disbelief for this one, eh? Meanwhile, the dude with the fan is quite easily holding back angry Nezuko and is quite reluctant to straight up kill her, and instead wants to toy with her, which makes the other clones annoyed because they want to finish the fight. But as the sad one decides he's going to intervene and attack her, and tries to pull his spear out from Genya, he realizes it's not budging somehow, as Genya is holding it in his body. Sure. I guess it's like what we saw with Rengoku and that dude's fist. I suppose we just have to accept that breathing techniques can apparently do anything. Anyway, he wakes up, he shoots off Sad's head, and then the spear comes out and he dies. Yeah, right, unlikely. Before he says a prayer and suddenly he's back in the fight, ready to cut off Sad's head again. Only for Angry to intervene this time with his lightning staff and start to roast him. Seriously, how is this kid still alive? And I mean, the demon even acknowledges the spear pierced his heart. Kind of steroids is this dude on? But yeah, if he has to live, I do enjoy that the episode actually acknowledges that it's absurd, that he should be dead, that nobody could survive this except a demon, and yet he keeps getting up and fighting them off. Which he immediately does again when he manages to shoot off Angry's arm to stop the lightning attack. So yeah, they're really setting up the mystery of this dude right now. Color me intrigued. Genya also rapidly becoming one of my favorites. And then he gets smacked through the wall by Sad, so we can cut away to Nezuko and see what's going on there. And this is the point of the episode where they really up the gruesome factor, as the dude she's fighting snaps one of her arms, which, bone snapping. Even in an animated format, it makes me feel queasy. I don't know what it is, because realistically I know it's a drawing, right? I know it's not real, but even then it just hits me right in the gut and makes me cringe. Anyway, she gets kicked through the chest, and so she in turn kicks off his head, rips off her arm and his arm, steals his fan and blows him away. Before the staff dude immediately impales her through the throat and starts zapping her. This fight is so brutal and so epic. It's crazy what kind of stuff you can get away with from an action point of view when everybody's able to regenerate and tank insane amounts of damage. Like, you think it would get old or feel like it lowers the stakes, but it doesn't, because in actuality it just opens up a lot of potential for epic battles. And that's really what we get in this episode. And then we cut back to what is obviously the less interesting fight. I guess they just wanted to show us what he was up to and remind us that he is a character that still exists. And not really all that much happens here. Tanjiro is clearly stuck in a holding pattern to beat this guy at the right moment, so he can swoop back in to help at the mansion later. We then see Genya power back up, despite the fact that everybody, literally everybody, acknowledges that he should be straight up dead now. And then it's back to Tanjiro, where he keeps fighting the bird dude, but this time outsmarts him. First by fleeing, and then dodging and stabbing him in the face and basically using him as a glider. Doesn't really make much sense to me, but it's pretty cool and epic, so I can ignore the fact that he's somehow steering this guy using the sword in the face, and the demon isn't bothering to instantly shred him like the others did quite quickly to Genya and Nezuko. Seriously, his arms are right there, rip him to shreds. They then crash land right in front of Zappy Demon, and Tanjiro uses the bird dude's foot to nullify the lightning attack, as apparently these attacks can't affect its own cells. And since all four of the demons are technically the same dude, it can't hurt itself. Anyway, Tanjiro then slices the dude's tongue, and manages to free the impaled Nezuko before she in turn saves him from getting impaled by the same guy. The leaf dude then returns and blasts them down through the floor, and I gotta say, this whole fight, I'm really loving the chaotic dynamic of everything and how it remains fresh as it cycles through the various different demons that they have to fight. Different moves, different matchups and combinations of demon slayers versus demons. It's actually really quite exciting and much better than having the standard 1v1 battle, because you never really know here what's going to happen next and who's going to come out of nowhere to attack. They then leave that fight on a cliffhanger, just where it looks like they're about to get killed again, but it's obvious that they won't get killed as Genya's probably going to burst out and save the day. Whilst back in the village, we see the demon minions begin their attack, whilst Kanrogi summoned back to the village to help fend off the assault, so clearly she's going to make short work of them and then join one of the main battles against the upper ranks fairly soon. And so yeah, this was actually a really great episode. Not much has really changed, but the action itself was so good. Seriously, this show has some of the best fights I've ever seen in anime, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens next. And so, with all that being said, these are just my opinions, and now I'd like to hear yours. What did you think of the episode? You like it, hate it? I'm curious for your thoughts, so make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know.